Okay, we're back on the second one. Let's finish up this matrix multiplication here. All right, for those top numbers, again, to get the 5, the 2, and the 7, we take the first row times the first column, first row times the second column, first row times the third column. Once you've done row times all the columns, move down to the second row, and then you're going to multiply that by all 3 columns. Okay? So now -1 times 3 plus, and then you move over to 3 times 1. And then that will give us a total of -3 plus 3, which is 0. All right, I'm going to pause it here, and I'm just going to fill out the other 2. Same idea, just to save a little bit of time. And then I'll come back after I fill those in. So let me pause this for a second. Okay, so we just went through and we did row times column, second row times second column, second row times third column, and we got an 8 here and we got an 8 here. So when we're done with AB, okay, it will be this following matrix. It'll have a 5, a 2, a 7, a 0, and an 8, and an 8. So we got 2 by 3 matrix. All right, now it said find AB, and it said find the product BA. Okay, so let's take a look at BA real quick. So if you look on your paper, B, what are the dimensions of B? Okay, it is a 2 by 3. A is a 2 by 2. We cannot multiply those together because these do not match up. You cannot multiply a 2 by 3 by a 2 by 2. Okay. So this is undefined. Cannot find it. Okay, so AB exists, BA does not. That leads us to this following case here. Matrix multiplication. So if you flip over to the other side of your, oh no, so just below there, matrix multiplication is not commutative. Okay, so you take a look at those properties. AB does not have to equal BA. Now here are some properties that are true. If the associative property is true, A times B times C is going to be the same as A times the quantity B times C. Okay, these will all be true, following properties. Okay, flip your guide and notes over. We'll finish up here. All right, so given A and B, you see those at the top. First thing we want to do is we're going to find the quantity A plus B squared. We still have to follow order of operations, which means I have to do A plus B first and then square it. So 2, -3, 4, 1, that is A, plus B, which is -1, 2, 5, -6. Okay, add those two together. Okay, when I add those together, I'm going to get 1. -3 plus 2 is -1. 4 plus 5 is 9. And then 1 plus -6 is -5. And so now we square that. We got 1, 1, 9, -5. All right, now this is where a lot of people make mistakes. When you square this, you do not square individual terms. We have to use our matrix multiplication rules. What you want to do is you want to write it out twice. So you got, it's 1, -1, 9, -5, times 1, -1, 9, -5. Again, do not just simply square the individual terms. You have to do row times column. Row 1 times column 1. Okay? That will be 1 times 1 is 1 plus -9. So that is going to give me -8 right there. Row 1 times column 1. So take row 1 times column 2. 1 times -1 is -1 plus +5. -1 plus +5 is 4. Okay, move down to row 2 times column 1. 9 times 1 is 9. and then plus negative 45. So you got 9 plus negative 45 in that slot. So it is negative 36. And in this slot I got 9 times negative 1, which is negative 9, plus positive 25. Negative 9 plus 25 is positive 16. So again, when you're squaring, write it out, and you got to do row times column. You cannot square individual terms. That will not work. Okay, so that is the quantity a plus b squared. Now for b, it says find a squared minus b squared. All right, this one actually takes a little bit more work because we have to square both of them. So let's figure out what a squared is by taking a times a. Now remember, a is 2, negative 3, 4, 1. So I got 2, negative 3, 4, 1 times 2, negative 3, 4, 1. Okay, row times column. 2 times 2 is 4, plus negative 12. It's going to give me negative 8. Okay, row times, or first row times second column. It gives me negative 6 plus negative 3. Negative 9. Second row times first column. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 4. So 12, and then row times column gives me negative 12 plus 1, gives me negative 11. So this right here is a squared. All right, b squared. Let me do something here. I should probably put b squared, and that's going to equal, all right, what is b? That is negative 1, 2, 5, 6 times negative 1, 2, 5, 6. Okay, go ahead and multiply it. Pause it for a second and see if you get the same thing. Okay, I'm going to pause it, and then I'm just going to fill it in to save a little bit of time here. Okay, when you're done doing row times column, you should get 11, negative 14, negative 35, and 46. Okay, now we have to do a squared minus b squared. They have to be the same dimensions, which they are, 2 by 2. A squared is negative 8, negative 9, 12, negative 11, minus 11, negative 14, negative 35, 46. Okay, subtract the corresponding terms, and we end up with negative 19. Negative 9 minus negative 14 is going to be positive 5. Let me fix that negative 19. Doesn't, so you can tell what it is. Negative 19. And then down here, 12 minus negative 35 is 47. Negative 11 minus 46, negative 57. Okay, a squared minus b squared. All right, so we got matrix multiplication. All right, that's it for section 9.2. This is your homework, which will be due Monday. All right, have a good weekend.